Hey, good morning, everyone. Happy and blessed Sunday to you. I wanted to pop in, and I was inspired this morning to share the sentiments and the words of my newsletter that go out every first of the month or around the first of the month. Um, and as I shared in a previous video, the writing is always easy for me. It's much inspired in a way that feels effortless. Speaking and translating at the same time is much more difficult. And so for now, I'm going to use these words to offer them to you this morning as whatever it is that and how it lands for you. I hope that it serves you in any and every way. Dear beloved community, this beautiful May morning, I am guided to this quote by Saint Teresa of Avila. And when I read this quote and I decided to write this quote, I will tell you that there was this fire that you can feel burning within my heart, within my knowing. And that's why it just felt like the right thing to share. And it's the words that I believe you need to hear this morning. Christ has no body but yours, no hands, no feet on earth but yours. Yours are the eyes with which he looks on compassion to this world. Yours are the feet with which he walks to do good. Yours are the hands with which he blesses all the world. Yours are the hands, the feet, the eyes. You are his body. Those who have ears, let them hear. Those words are repeated numerous times in the Gospel of Mary Magdalene, which is a gospel that when I found it and read it, really completely changed the trajectory of my faith life. And it says, "The time has arrived. The call to embody the living, breathing resurrection of Christ within us is here. The time is now. Those who are caught up in philosophy and theology, they'll always be here. They'll always be in the background. They'll always be wanting to make their argument and prove they're right and prove they know. But the way forward, friends, is not going to be any of that. We are not here to talk about religion. We're not here to talk about theology or philosophy. We're here to do the work that the Christ exemplified for us. The path he walked is the path we are to follow. We must keep our eyes fixed on what we know deep in our hearts. The path to set the world on fire with the love of the Christ within us begins with us first becoming who we truly are. And that path, that first step, begins with learning how to engage, to find regular encounters with the Christ within us. Not only going to Mass or to church or to service, not only becoming part of a community where you contribute the gifts that you have, but by encountering the Christ within you regularly through prayer, through meditation, through silence, finding the still point within you. And then I wrote, every single one of you reading this, watching this right now, is receiving a call from the Christ within you. May there be no doubt. The most holy Trinity of the Mother, Christ, and Sophia, they will meet you where you are. Do not be afraid. Be aware that how you will be called and the feeling of what the calling is, it is as unique and as individual as your fingerprint. Don't judge it. Don't be afraid of it. What someone else is experiencing in their call is not what you will experience. It is not all the same. That is not how the Christ within works. He works, they, because they cannot be disentangled. The Mother, the Christ, the Sophia, they are the Trinity. They work by using the unique you to express the Christ within through the world. And that is what we need. We need all of us to find that expression of love. And so whether you want to know that this is happening or not, it is happening, or you wouldn't be listening. Because we must understand and we must hear the call. Those who have ears, let them hear that the second coming is we. It is coming through us. Christ must be lived through us. We must empty ourselves of all that clutters, distracts, confuses us, makes us feel that it can't be me, right? How many saints of the world in stories that we've heard of them saying, not me, or it can't be me. Right? No, it's you. It's us. It's us. We must be able to do the work to see and understand ourselves first, fully and completely. We must become accountable for what lies before us by doing the work within us. We set the world on fire with the truth of the Christ we know in our hearts by making ourselves accountable to that very Christ who calls our name. As he called the Magdalene's name, the moment, the day of that glorious morning as the dawn was breaking, and he calls Mary. He calls you. He calls me. He calls all of us. And we must remember that that calling is a calling from a place of love, of knowing. He knows us. The Christ, the Mother, the Sophia, they know us better than we can ever know ourselves. That has to be something we understand as a truth that is unshakable, anchored into our very being, burned into our hearts and our minds, that the call comes from a place, from a spirit that knows you better than you know yourself. They know us, they see us, they understand the challenges of what it means to be human, to do the work of trying to bridge the spirit that's so locked up, that's been trained to be caught up and locked up in our hearts out of fear and out of embarrassment, out of shame, out of all of the things of the world that take us away from that still point we must find within ourselves to truly hear the soul voice within us. And he knows how difficult this is, but here is the gift of all of it, is that in that knowing, the only thing that's required of us is to show up, to agree to show up. And if we show up and we ask and we're just trying to do better, trying to hear the voice, trying to meditate, the grace will be given. I am a living, breathing representation of this. I can tell you, I promise you, the grace will be given. Meditation was hard for me at first. I have a brain that is over analytical. It thinks and thinks and thinks. It likes to make sense of everything. It likes to make it make sense. I want to figure everything out. And it wasn't until I unlearned that nervous system wiring of wanting to know. And if you've watched my previous video, you'll learn this is still an ongoing saga for me. But the grace is given. It was given to me. You witnessed that video in real time. Not only have I been freed of the knowing, there is a new energy that has taken place, that has taken its place. And it is here now with me sharing this with you. We just have to show up, no matter how messy, ugly, embarrassing it may feel. It doesn't matter. And who cares? I mean, seriously, who cares? Have you looked around the world today? Right? I mean, just be brave. Show up. Try. We must walk the way. We must become love in action, and it must begin with love for ourselves first. We have to remember that the answer to surrendering means that we have to face the things we are pushing away. The very things we don't want to feel, think about, remember, are the very things that have your heart, your soul voice taped. Its mouth is taped shut. The freedom that comes with peeling that tape back, that feeling that comes with releasing the grip of the world on your heart, is unexplainable and frankly will be uniquely yours. For me, it has me here with you now. We can rejoice in remembering that this path made Jesus, who I call Yeshua. Yeshua is nothing more than the Hebrew name of Jesus. It's special to me because it helps me to differentiate the Jesus, Yeshua, I know from the versions of Jesus that are floating around in the world today that make me physically sick and make me angry, fill me with holy rage. Another reason why I'm here in the reclamation of the truth of who he was, what he stood for. It made him, that walking the way, the path, the work he did in the world made him untouchable in spirit because he already was that, right? From day one. He was born of the Holy Sophia. But we have to remember that spirit-driven life that he lived, the connection, the perfect anthropos, the perfect fully human, fully divine, resulted in him becoming a threat to the empire. I think it's fair to say, if you're paying attention in the world today, that empire's never really, it's always gone on. Why? Because they murdered him. This work, I say it's not for the faint of heart because it will take an understanding that what you are doing, that what all of the great saints of the world have done, they set the world on fire by being brave, by being courageous, by recognizing that Jesus Christ, who they say they want to follow, who we say we want to follow, was a rebel. He was the one who stood up to the empire. He was the one who said no. Not only did he say no, he walked the way. He provided the example. We must do the same. He trusted the path forward, even if he didn't want to walk it. I am forever in the sorrowful mysteries. When I pray, I meditate always on that moment of the agony in the garden, when he says, "My Father, if it is possible, let this cup pass from me. Yet, not as I will, but you will." I don't think there is a moment, at least for me, that I can think of where Jesus or Yeshua's humanity shines more than it does in this moment. He can feel the tension of what is beneath the surface here, of him being where he was. He knew what was coming. Whether he knew the full, what ultimately was, I don't know. I don't think we'll ever know, probably. I mean, maybe not. But he knew, he felt, and how many of us know? We know that feeling when something's brewing, right? Something's not right. But yet we're asked to still be brave, to still speak the truth, even if we're shaking, even if we're afraid, even if we're not sure what's going to happen. Being anchored so into our spirit and the truth is what will be required of all of us, now and moving forward. We must trust the path, even if we're afraid to walk it. Jesus, or Yeshua, he stayed loyal to his mission until the end, and so must we. He cleared the path. He walked and created the path of light for us to follow, and now we must follow. But the question you may be asking is how? How do I begin? What does this even mean? My soul voice writes, we do this by waking up every day and deciding to choose life, even when the world around us feels like it's falling apart, it smells like death. Is this not what the mother and the Magdalene did? Their son, their beloved, actively dying on a cross above their heads. People walking by, mocking him, mocking them. But yet they stood there. It is the part of the Magdalene and the mother that my heart is anchored into. They did what was required of us. We must stand there, we must witness, but we must be aligned to the Christ within us. They trusted that the grace would be giving, and it was. For not only did they stand beneath the cross and the crucifixion, but they were with him from the beginning to the very end, to the glory of the resurrection. And in between, through all of it, they didn't yell back. They didn't try and stop what was happening. They were grieving. They were probably, I can't even imagine the suffering that they were experiencing. But they chose softness over bitterness. So must we. We must be wildly honest about what hurts us and be vulnerable enough to hold it and to allow it to hold space in our hearts while at the same time being daring enough, just as the Magdalene did on that Holy Saturday, on that Good Friday, when he was placed in the tomb, to believe in joy and hope and love. Simultaneously, both must exist at the same time. We must say yes to our own becoming, just as the Magdalene did. We must show up all the time, even if we are in mid-process, because we're always going to be in mid-process. There is no end point. There's no destination. When we are mid-healing, mid-rebuilding, we have to eliminate the idea of the shame of where we are, where we've come from, and and understanding that we are not going to know where this is leading. We must show up anyway and express that fully and completely and what it feels like to be in that place. I say to my children all the time, there is nothing more powerful than taking power away from the thing you fear by speaking it out loud, by being witnessed by others who walk the same path. Being truly alive, choosing life, does not mean it is perfect or pain-free or that you know the answer, you know the way. I'm the teacher. That's you know what that is? That is absolute bullshit. It means refusing to feel everything, to show up anyway, and to not numb out. It means remembering who you are. You're human, and you're only here saying, I am willing to be transformed because I don't know the way. I don't know any other way, and so I must lean on the mystery of my unknowing and lean in the mystery of the grace that will give me the very next thing I need, even if I don't know what that is. It means remembering who you are and walking forward as if love has already won, if your transformation has already begun, because it has. So I'm asking you for the month of May. We are in the days of the resurrection, post-resurrection. What does that like? What does it feel like in your life right now? Has Easter come and gone and you've just gone back to doing the same things that you've done before Easter? Is it just a day you go to church with your family and, things go right back to the hustle bustle of school life, work, and whatever, and you're not meditating, you're not praying the rosary and wanting to understand more about what the resurrection means in your life? That's okay if that's where you are. But the question is, are you being called to more and moving it aside, distracted by things that don't matter? Can you hold both? Can you be a human in the world? I'm a woman in the world. I have a full-time job. I have kids. I have lots of things. I cannot not show up here. And it doesn't make me anything except saying that I understand the task it takes to do both. But if you are being called, you are capable of it, I promise you this. It may be a little bumpy, it might be a little messy, but if you are called, there is something waiting for you. Or something waiting for you on the other side. What would it feel like to not just survive, to get through the day, to wake up and say, my God, another week has passed and just doing the same thing over and over and over and over? What would it feel like to begin to feel alive in a world that tries to keep you small and trapped in this idea of the rat race matrix nonsense that doesn't need to be real? It's because it's not real. It's a trap. What if you were to be able to live and to thrive and to remember the child of light that lives within you, the one that you are? You already are. This work is an act of remembering. It's not achieving or gaining something new that you don't already have. It's remembering that you have it, learning to connect to it. And we do that through prayer, through meditation, through stillness, through being brave enough to actually hear what we hear and doing something with it. This is your invitation, my friends, to keep going. If you are even taking or thinking about taking one little step forward, you're already on the path. You're already doing it. Don't be afraid. Do what you have to do to keep choosing your life, the life you want to live, the one that's calling from you, that's making you irritable and uncomfortable, the one that is saying, there's more. It's you. Yes, it's you. I want you. You're only remembering the soul voice that is calling you to remember the power that exists within you. Keep choosing to let Christ rise up within you and do what you have to do to burn into your heart and your intellect, your knowing that we are forever held by the tender gaze, not grace, the tender gaze and the fierce love of our great mother. When we recognize and we become connected to her power through the rosary, through her fierceness through the rosary. The words, "What do I have to fear?" take new form. They give new life. It's a different kind of grace. It truly is. And that is why this month we are practicing praying the rosary every day. If you are new to the rosary, do not worry. Please reach out to me. I have so many resources for you. It is a beautiful practice. It is a way that takes the monkey mind and it silences it. It kind of helps it to move along. And as you get better at it, you'll be surprised how easily you can connect, and it's silenced and it moves itself out so that you are connected and you begin to hear with the ears that Jesus spoke about when he said, those who have ears, let them hear, the ears of the heart. You begin to see the world with eyes that are opened, not these eyes, the eyes of the heart. You'll hear me say many times, seeing, hearing with the eyes and ears of the heart. The rosary each day for the month of May is a great beginning. If you are Catholic, if you've prayed the rosary before, maybe you're a Catholic that, has always found the rosary to be very rote. This was me. I had my rosary experience as a Catholic was one where I was just like, oh my gosh, all these Hail Marys, like, what is the point? And, I was a cradle Catholic, so praying the rosary to me was also, it felt, I was given the rosary to pray when I would come out of confession, right? And so it was my little brain associated it with my nervous system as a penance that I was doing. I did that when I did something wrong, that Mary was looking down on me and saying, oh, right, I need you to pray these Hail Marys so I could. No. I can tell you that the rosary that we pray here together in circle is one that is coming forward, calling in our great mother, the Sophia, and saying, I need your help. I don't know what to do. I am feeling pain, grief, suffering, agony, fear, anxiety. I don't know what to do. And so I need something to help me know what the next right thing to do is. And then each mystery is a mystery, so we're not meant to understand it, but we're meant to just use our imagination to meditate on what it could mean for your life. Usually when we pray, I'll verbalize some things that I'm feeling within my heart, and I find they resonate with many people who join. For whatever reason, that's just how it's going, and that's what we'll do. And then the Hail Marys, the 10 Hail Marys that go into that decade, they become a cadence. They become a mantra. They become a way for the mind to quiet so that the heart can open. And then there's magic that happens. The magic is grace. The grace softens us. It begins to free us. And we begin to see, hear, and feel and experience something that will only be yours. Your own experience. And it will change your life. I promise you, it will change your life. So join us. Join us in learning to pray the rosary or praying the rosary every day. We pray every Friday together at noon. I've recorded many of these online. Some of them I know were really very, I was very raw and it was very real. Others I do think maybe did not they felt a little bit more of that performative thing I was sharing with you in the very beginning of the last video, if you've watched. But I don't think it matters because she always comes through. She does. She's just happy I showed up, just like I shared to you a million here, right? She's just happy that I showed up. So something always comes through, and it will for you too. So check those out. Begin there. Reach out to me if you need any help. There's also lots of other opportunities to gather with us besides the rosary. Today, Sundays, now for the month of May, and I really do believe we'll be doing this for probably maybe forever, is gathering on Sunday and just talking about what the rosary or what our practices are opening up for us. This is that part of being seen, of being witnessed, of just gathering in community, to be able to share what has come down through for us for the rosary or what work we're doing. And then there's other things that, that we'll be doing. There's another webinar coming up called The Cosmic Mother for the month of May. A Love That Knows No Bounds will be the webinar. That's coming up very soon. Look for your calendar to you can populate your calendar with this webinar if you're interested. My previous webinars about the Magdalene, they're so great. And, and I'm not saying that because it's me. I'm saying that because I felt her in them. It was, they're awesome. The first is the archetype of the Magdalene, which just simply means these are the components of what Mary Magdalene embodied. Does this feel like something you embody, or do you recognize these things within yourself? Was the first webinar. The second one is about the Gospel of Mary Magdalene. In the fall, we'll be working towards actually studying the Gospel of Mary Magdalene together, and some of the other Gnostic works as well. The fall really kicks off that period of time from September really through the end of the year, where I believe the Gnostic Gospels and the shadow work really come into play. It's that turn of the season. It's that time where we're turned inward. And it is amazing how great it feels. Talk about an Advent that leads you to a Christmas where you feel born again. So that's coming. That is going to be the first session of the true way of the Magdalene, coming in the fall. So if you're interested, definitely join the wait list and check that out. And then the third webinar was the one I gave, which is just this, call to answering the question that I'm offering to you right now, which is, what does your spirit need? Why are you here? Why are you listening to this? We're almost at 30 minutes. Have you made it this far? If so, thank you. Why? What do you want to do with that? Answer that question for yourself. Share your thoughts with me anytime. I'm a safe space forever here in this work. Yeah. And so this resurrection season, may you live as if you've already been set free, because in truth you have. You just have to choose it. We are gathering today at 12 p.m. There's a Zoom link. Check it out. It's on all the social networks that I have. My wonderful assistant Charmaine posts for me because I do not do socials. But also in our Mighty Networks group. If you haven't joined Mighty Networks, please join us. This is where all of the things that will be posted and here on YouTube. So I hope you join us with that. Again, wishing you a blessed Sunday. And I look forward to meeting you. Don't be afraid. What do you have to fear? Come meet your mother.